You guys, I want to talk about attitude, and then I'm going to actually flip it, and you'll understand what I mean by that in a second. But when you look at attitude, you guys have probably all had somebody that you knew that either had a good attitude, bad attitude, or indifferent attitude. But attitude, where does it all, I always ask myself, where does it come from? And it really comes from your beliefs. It comes from your perceptions, and then it comes from your experiences determine a person's attitude. So how they act a certain way, these are things that are incorporated in their attitude. And you can hear that in their smile, how they look, how they stand, how they walk, how they talk, and even how the things that they do, their attitude always permeates out from them. And then they get experiences in life. Now, one of the things I want you to understand is that there's certainly not your attitude and everything is not always going to be you're going to control every experience that happens in your life, because that wouldn't be true either. But at the same time, it's also not true that everything that happens to you is also not because of your attitude, because that wouldn't be true either as well. So there's some things that you can control in terms of your outcome. And so if you're going to control your outcome, you have to look backwards and look at your beliefs, look at your perceptions, because we know by those beliefs and perceptions, that's going to form some form of experiences in your life or your life events. And so there are some things that we can do about that. But the big thing is that we could do is if we wanted to change some of our outcomes of our experiences, we would have to really dive down deep and literally take our brain out and put another brain in there of a person that we'd want to have that type of experience. How do they think? How would they perceive this? What would their reactions be? And then from there, they're going to start getting different experiences and results in life because they've got a completely different attitude and how they think and so forth. That's why it's always a great idea to have somebody on the outside looking on the inside of you and then give you suggestions and nudgingly coach you along the way. So those are important things to do because they can give you a different perspective of how you're seeing things, because you can't always see the picture, obviously, when you're in the frame. Now, the other thing you want to look at that is if you just look at lions for a second. A lion is not the biggest animal on the planet. It's certainly not one of the strongest animals. It's not one of the fastest animals. And it's not even the most intelligent animal on the planet. But yet, it's still considered the king of the jungle. And one of the reasons why is that a lion's perspective, its belief system, they got one belief system, and that is that everything that it sees, it's lunchtime. That it's always on the hunt. And because of that, all the other animals are afraid of the lion because he's always on the hunt. And so what I'm going to suggest for you today is that I want you to ask yourself, that when you're looking at your life, what do you believe in yourself, about yourself? And the bigger question is whatever that you believe, how's it working for you? Because if it's not working out the way you'd want it to be, then maybe it's time to start getting some coaching and some training and form different belief systems.